Well, my name's Greg Highfield, and I'm the Extension Director here in Woods County, and it's a pleasure to be with everyone today. Thank you for including us as a part of your program. We do have a couple of 4-Hers with us today, and we want to talk about our Woods County 4-H program. But before we do that, I'd like to make sure everyone knows Susan Holliday. Susan, maybe no stranger to some of us, worked in an office on the Northwestern campus, and was our candidate for the family, what we term the Family and Consumer Sciences position in the Woods County Extension Office. So Susan started with us a year ago, February, so just a little bit over a year. So I'm treating her like she's new, even though she's really not brand new. But we're certainly proud to have Susan on our Woods County staff. She's hit the ground running. Susan takes care again of the family and consumer science, and I take care of the agriculture. And then we share the 4-H component. So I don't know, half and half might be a little cheating. Susan is very good to take care of a lot of the 4-H stuff, but we do share that responsibility and enjoy the 4-H program very much. So Susan was the main contact on this presentation, and she put together a couple of 4-Hers to come speak, and so I'm going to let Susan introduce our 4-Hers, but just wanted to make sure you knew that Susan was new to our staff, and we're proud to have her, and she's doing a great job. Let's welcome Susan.
Well, I really appreciate Skeeter inviting me to speak today. Like Greg said, both of us work with the 4-H program here in Woods County. We did bring a couple of our senior 4-H members, and I assure you that you would probably rather hear directly from them how this program impacts our youth. But our 4-H nationwide is the largest youth-serving organization in the world and one of the biggest youth development programs in Oklahoma. So these two young people, which I'll introduce, are definitely products of the leadership that comes along with 4-H. So I am going to allow them to go through our PowerPoint, and then at the end we have a few photos of some of the events that we do on a regular basis. And if you have any questions, just feel free. So I'm going to introduce Austin Rankin. He is from our Winoka 4-H club. He is actually the Woods County president, and he's a freshman at Winoka High School. And this is Hannah Corneely. She's from our Alva 4-H club. She's a sophomore at Alva, and she is one of our 4-H ambassadors from the Northwest District. So both of them have a lot of leadership skills. So I'm going to turn the presentation over to them. Like I said, if you have any questions, just let us know.
Well, like you said, I'm Hannah Corneely, and this is Austin Rankin, and actually I'm a junior, but it doesn't matter.
I just asked you that 2 minutes ago.
Pretty important, isn't it?
Do you want to do this, or do you want to do that?
So we're going to talk to you just a little bit and give you some background information about 4-H and what the organization is. So what is 4-H? 4-H is a community of young people across America who are learning leadership, citizenship, and life skills.
Now, 4-H is youth development component of the Cooperative Extension Service. It is the largest youth-serving organization in the world, and it is dedicated to education, youth development, and service.
The Oklahoma Cooperative Extension Service is based on Oklahoma State University and Langston University, which are both land-grant colleges. They provide research-based information in agriculture and natural resources, rural development, and family and consumer sciences, and 4-H and youth development. So we have Susan, our family and consumer sciences, and Greg is our on the agricultural side.
Why 4-H projects work. Youth have the opportunity to set goals, gain knowledge, develop skills, learn by doing, accept responsibility, and be recognized for their achievements, lead, and serve others. Now, these are all statements, but in my life, this is definitely things that are happening. You know, setting goals. I plan to be a state 4-H officer one of these days, and maybe an ambassador. I gained so much knowledge when I entered the 4-H program, and not to mention just all the things I've done in 4-H. I've developed my skills through shooting sports. Before I started trap shooting, I didn't even know how to load a shotgun, so that's definitely something I've earned. I learned by doing so. You know, I've learned a lot through 4-H, and so when you hear all of these statements, just know they're very personal.
So in 4-H, we have project work and life skills. Our project work includes decision making, goal setting, planning, doing, and evaluating, teamwork and cooperation, communication, responsible, and record keeping. What we do in 4-H is at the end of the year, we keep all of our things that we have done in our communities, and we write it down into a record book. And in that record book, we're judged on, and so there's first place, second place, third place. And it's just a very nice thing to have, because you can, once I get older, I know I can go back and look at the pictures and the little stories I've written in it about what I've done through 4-H and how that's impacted my life.
Okay, so here are some of the Woods County 4-H statistics. So Woods County 4-H enrollment, this is all of our total active members are 123. We have 123 active members. The project clubs, we have 8 total project clubs that are being acted in. For Alva has 48 4-Hers. Winoka has 31 4-Hers. The Clover Buds, which I'll tell you about the Clover Buds in just a second, they have 15 4-Hers, or soon to be 4-Hers. And Freedom has 21 4-Hers. Now, the Clover Buds are a 4-H before 4-H type of club. You know, they're the younger kids who are going to eventually join 4-H, but they're just not old enough yet. So when you go to a Clover Bud meeting, you see that they're being taught things that you use in everyday life and while you're on 4-H. So they'll tell them about our extension agents, and they'll have a fun little lesson that they learn while they also learn about 4-H.
So in Woods County, we have special project clubs. For me in Alva, I put on a Caring Clovers project club, and what we did was through each meeting, we have some type of service project that we do that takes about 30 minutes just at the end of our meetings. So I think it was about 2 months ago, we went and we picked up trash around the ARC Center, and then we've also written thank you cards to veterans on Veteran Day, and then we've also helped hang up DHS angel trees at the bank.
For me, I have a special project club called Shooting Sports Expanded, and what it's about is that it's about the shooting sports project area, but outside of just while you're on the range. So you learn about gun cleaning or wildlife tracks, and it's we have about 5 members, and we have a meeting every month or so, and it's very informational.
4-H members gain decision-making skills through judging activities. And I do not personally judge anything. It's just not my style, but Austin?
Yeah. Personally, I have done judging through 4-H and FFA. And when you judge, there's definitely some decision-making skills that you learn. Which placings you're going to just put in, whether you go with your gut or you look at the animals even more and you just decide to change your placing. That's definitely a big part of the game. You share knowledge and skills with others in formal and informal settings through workshops like this one. This is a workshop. Oh, wait, did we change it? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so this is Joe and Tara, they're both Alva 4-Hers. And what they did was, Tara on here was at a toxin demonstrations contest. and she showed how to make decorated Halloween pumpkins. Now she made that one as a 4-H pumpkin. This is Joe, and he is doing a demonstration about, I think, racing cars. And he's showing different types of cars on that little poster board and things like that. You know, personally, I've done talks and demonstrations since I was 9. And every year I go to the state fair and I do a demonstration about 4-H and some project area that I'm showing to the people, and not just regular 4-Hers.
Something we really like to do in 4-H is have a small training session in either the Alva, Winoka, or Freedom Clubs before talks and demonstrations, so we can give the kids an example and just give them the encouragement that they need so that they feel comfortable getting up in front of their peers and doing a demonstration or giving a talk. I've also done talks and demonstrations since I was 9, and last year I actually branched out a little bit and I did a speech, and it wasn't a demonstration. So that was something new for me, and I never would have just picked that out for myself to do unless I had the encouragement from my 4-H club.
4-Hers will serve their communities. These guys were packaging corn at the regional food bank. Now, personally, I've never done this, but I have packaged food through 4-H. Like, they made packaged food that you would send to, I think, children in Africa or something like that. So there's a lot of community service that goes along with 4-H.
Up there, that's actually me on the right side and Julie Owen and Max Parsons on the left side. And I'm not really sure what I'm doing in that picture. It was at DLC one year, which stands for District Leadership Conference. And it was really nice to be able to hear the message behind how that food impacts people. And so being able to just participate, that was an honor in itself.
She's putting a portion of those beans into bags that they vacuum packaged and sent overseas. So yes, you know what you were doing.
I meant with my face.
Okay. Tell the 4-H story. This is me at 4-H Day at the Capitol last year. We will actually be going again next Wednesday. And at 4-H Day at the Capitol, you tell your 4-H story to the legislators up at the state capitol. Now, when I say tell your 4-H story, what I mean is you tell them why 4-H is important to you and why 4-H is important to the state of Oklahoma. So without Day at the Capitol, it would be hard to really let them know what we're doing and how we're affecting Oklahoma on a day-to-day basis.
Yesterday, I was actually at the state capitol with my teacher cadet class, and we got to spend an hour with Joy Hoffmeister and our legislators from Oklahoma. And Joy Hoffmeister recognized me from my Electric Gold group, and then I was telling her some of the other organizations I was in. It was really neat to me because when I said 4-H, she immediately lit up and was so excited about it. And she just told me that her son is actually going to be involved in 4-H as soon as he gets old enough.
Lead by example. Sharing project work and running for office. Now, me and Hannah have both ran for office. We've both been county president. Just sharing project work. If I hadn't had my spin club, most of the people in my spin club would not know what shooting sports was or what trap shooting was. They would not be in trap shooting. So when you spread project work and just show people what's fun and what's awesome to do, they usually just connect right to it. And it's great to see that connection. And when someone gains the talent, that makes it even better.
Next is 4-H members make a difference. A sample group of 204-H teens. They reach 25.7 million people through 4-H project work, organize 57,108 activities, workshops, and presentations, and spent nearly 380,000 hours planning, conducting, and evaluating 4-H activities. So normally what that means when it says evaluating 4-H activities is after any camp that we go to or any class that we attend as a 4-H group, we do an evaluation. So what that is it's just like a follow through to see what we think that we could do differently, that we would like to see happen, or the things that we really like to, so that we can continue those through the next year.
4-H alumni, they are engaged in their communities. A study published in the Journal of Extension found that youth involved in 4-H are more likely to have higher grades than non-4-H members, less likely to participate in risky behaviors, if you know what I mean, more likely to discuss important issues with their parents, and more likely to hold leadership positions and participate in community service activities.
The lasting effect of 4-H on volunteerism and leadership. 4-H alumni are 95% volunteer monthly in their communities. 80% belong to one or more community groups, and 86% have held leadership positions in their community organizations in the last 3 years. Non-4-H Oklahomans are 77% volunteer monthly in their communities, 70% belong to one or more community groups, and 62% have held leadership positions in a community organization in the last 3 years.
In 2011, more than 46,000 Oklahoma youth were enrolled in 4-H clubs. Nearly 40% of Oklahoma 4-H youth represented minority, racial, cultural, and ethnic populations. More than 5,600 volunteers invested their time, talent with 4-H. 140,378 Oklahoma youth were reached by the 4-H program. Now, those are just some statistics that show you that 4-H has a lasting effect on anyone who's in its life. Now, 4-H is a crazy and amazing experience, and I've had so much fun in it in just the last 7 years. And I can't imagine what my high school years are going to bring and just how much more fun I'll have from there.
For me, 4-H is very special to me because when I was younger, I never would have dreamed of running for an office on the state level or district level or participating in public speaking events. I'm currently an Oklahoma State 4-H ambassador, which was a application and interview process. And then I have also been the Woods County president for 3 years, and I'm currently serving as the Woods County secretary. So 4-H has really just pushed me to grow every year and apply for trips and apply for scholarships and apply for new leadership positions. Austin and I are actually going to be going to Washington, D.C. this summer for 10 days, and we're going to go for 4-H Congress. I have also recently just got back from Washington, D.C. with 4-H. I was selected from the Oklahoma 4-H program as one of 6 members to represent the healthy living side of 4-H. And so we got to go spend about 4 days in Washington. We took a tour and we took a lot of classes about how to apply the healthy living aspects to our lives and then to reach that out to our communities.
All right. Well,
do you have any questions for us?
I've got a question.
Yes.
For one thing, it was an excellent presentation, and thank you very much for coming out and sharing it with us. And second, I'd be interested to know the total population of 4-H in the last 10 years. Has there been a large decrease since the popularity of cell phones and one thing and another, social media came out?
I think that's a Susan and Greg question.
Well, I don't have any of the statistics on the numbers of enrollment, but 4-H tries to keep up with the social media aspect. So, everyone has a cell phone now. There are actually, things that you can do like make videos and things like that. However, most of the events that we do, we like to leave those cell phones behind and get them a little bit more away from the screens if possible. And we made a few slides with some pictures of some activities that we have done. Well, one of the slides we just did that contest on Sunday, so these are pretty up-to-date photos. So if you just want to click through those, Austin, this was our 4-H Has Talent, which is not only just a talent show, but it builds confidence and poise, public speaking. we do, go ahead.
The main part of my question was, has the total population of 4-H decreased a lot over the last 10 years? Or is it raising, and do they have any membership drives or is there an active attempt to recruit members?
Well, like Greg said, I've been in the position for about a year, so he may be more experienced with that. But we do 4-H week. We celebrate that in Woods County every year, and it's an opportunity to get the information out about the programs to people who might not be familiar, and that is definitely a recruiting activity that we do. We do radio spots, and sometimes we're in the parades. So, what do you have to add to that?
In general, your observation would probably be true. We've seen a slight decline in statewide enrollment, maybe over the past 10 years. But overall, our numbers are holding pretty good. They've certainly held in Woods County fairly well. And, again, lots of kids participate at different levels. Some are active and state officers, and like these two examples before you, some just maybe show a pig and have some involvement with a project club. So, not everyone is maybe thoroughly, engrossed in it, but certainly we touch a lot of lives through a lot of different project clubs. But yes, in general, our enrollment numbers have slightly declined. There's a side story to that, and I'll tell you about that after the meeting.
This may just be a stereotype I've got, and I was in 4-H when I was their age.
Sure.
Is 4-H predominantly a small rural school activity, or do you see it in Tulsa, Oklahoma City, lots of bigger school districts?
You'd be surprised how big of clubs they have in the metropolitan areas. Some of those are very large, and a number of our state numbers, so to speak, come from those clubs. So, yes, with the show program, there would be some in rural parts that is very loyal, so to speak. But they recruit in urban areas very hard, and again, I don't fight that battle, but my friends in Extension fight it, and to my mind, are very successful. We could always do better, but they're successful. Bill?
I got a question for Austin. Tell me what you shoot.
I shoot a 30-inch 12-gauge pump.
What is the manufacturer?
Remington.
Remington 12. Okay.
Yes.
Question for Hannah and Austin. If you had to pick one activity within all of 4-H to do, which one would it be?
I would definitely have to say the community service part of 4-H. Leadership, you can really grow in those skills in any organization, but with 4-H, the community service is one of the main parts of 4-H. We're constantly doing something, and I think that's very important for young 4-H members and for myself to learn, is that no matter what you're doing, no matter how small, it's all for the bigger cause.
I think for me, it'd definitely be shooting sports. I'm not sure if I could make a decision between shotgun and archery, but because I can apply both of those areas to just when I go out hunting with my dad, and when it's bow season and I want to hunt a turkey and for Thanksgiving or something like that. And it's just all of these project areas are so great. It's kind of hard to choose just one, but that's what I do with. Okay. Yes.
You mentioned that 4-H suppresses risky behavior. Mac here occasionally engages in risky behavior.
I'm sure of it.
Is he eligible to join 4-H?
Sure can as a volunteer.
We welcome volunteers if you want
I'm
to.
curious what their age range was.
Yeah, you're definitely welcome to volunteer. Start your own project club, and you could probably have a lot of knowledge you could teach our Woods County 4-H members. So come on and join us.
I'm not near as young as I look.
So I think we're going to go ahead and go through these pictures real quick.
We may be out of time, man.
Oh. Are we?
Well, it's close, and we don't want people to leave during your presentation.
Oh. Okay. Then, is there any other questions? All right. Thank you guys for having us.